Starting in 5 minutes, boys.
Okay, thanks, Juanma. Really excited for the show today. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. Whoa, look at this. Jimmy the Bag, a message from Gabe Morency. I wonder what this could all be about. Let's take a look at this, Jim.
What's up, Pete? I got good news and I got bad news. Good news is I'm coming to San Jose, Costa Rica. We're going to be kicking it live. It's going to be an awesome betcast, Super Bowl 52. The bad news is if I don't do well on the tables, I might have to borrow a couple of bucks and I might have to sleep on your couch. But either way, we're going to tear it apart, man. Super Bowl 52, live from Costa Rica. See you there, Pete.
Uh-oh, Jimmy the Bag. Gabe Morency is going to be joining us for our Super Bowl podcast. This is scary and exciting at the same time. Jimmy the Bag, what do you think? Are you looking forward to this?
Very much so, man. It's not a party unless Gabe Morency's down here.
You think you can handle hanging? You think you can survive an entire Super Bowl in the same room with Gabe Morency?
Super Bowl day's the only day you're allowed to get day drunk. You're allowed to get all fucked up. It's part of the fucking celebration.
I just had a brainstorm. You know what would be a great idea is if Donnie Rightside came down here too. You think he'd be willing to come down?
Check this shit out. I'm way ahead of you, Pete.
No way.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm in. Send me down there. Costa Rica, let's do it. February 4th, Super Bowl Sunday, live betcast. We'll be there before, during, and after the game, breaking it all down. Let's win some money.
All right, well, looks like we're going to have a full house for the Super Bowl Betcast, the official SBR Super Bowl Betcast. There's going to be Jimmy, me, and Donnie, and Gabe, all powered by BetOnline, and it's going to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Super Bowl Sunday, February 4th. Jimmy the Bag, are you psyched?
Psyched, man. Let's get that cash.
Sportsbook Review's Super Bowl Betcast is brought to you by BetOnline.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is Loshak in the Bag Show. Sorry, I just saw a comment saying, a Spiritoy Latte saying, please let Pete look fucked up. So I'm trying to make myself look as fucked up as possible last second here, seeing what I can do here, trying to provide entertainment value to our regular viewers. Of course, this is, how's that? This is a pretty funny look, huh? This is Loshak in the Bag Show for Tuesday, January 23rd. Of course, we are in the heart of the college basketball season. This show overall is providing quite great analysis and winners, not necessarily exclusively from Jimmy and I, but from the commenters. Unbelievable stuff. I'm going to go over some of the great calls that people gave us yesterday. Great to see all the regular commenters on. Of course, we come to you from sportsbookreview.com. Today is Tuesday, January 23rd. Jimmy the Bag, this is the second day of the nice grind, and then tomorrow is the first day one of the ill grind every week, and then day two of the ill grind every week is Thursday, and then Friday, of course, is the fried brain day. Friday, that's when we're fried, right, Jim?
Yeah, but it's a little different for me because the pro games mean so much to me. So there's 17 pro games today. I got up at 4 in the morning and finished 7 minutes ago.
You dumb porn Ratanafaki says, put your hat back on, Pete. Okay, you dumb porn. Okay, you dumb porn, always understated. You dumb porn Ratanafaki, always very understated. Okay, thanks for the advice. You dumb porn.
So tomorrow there's just 11 pro games.
And then, right, I hear you, Jim.
So it does, it balances. So I know that we start the big college grind, but I mean, I find today's college grind very, very difficult.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of interesting games. Duke is playing, Virginia is playing. I'm starting to think that Virginia, for me, might start to be in college basketball just an auto pass every game. Can't bet on him, can't bet against him.
I saw Drew coming in. I was like, anything you like tonight?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm taking the under in Virginia Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, sure. But it's like, what's the total on that one? Like 117, 113 and a half? You know what I'm saying?
I haven't looked at, the 17 games is not easy for me, the 17 pro games. And I don't like today's NBA card. I find today's NHL card so different than what we've been dealing with for last week.
The NHL card.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NHL card is pretty crazy. We'll talk about that in a bit. It's a big one. NBA, I'm clawing back, Jimmy the Bag. I'm down about 16 units on the year, which might not seem like something I should be bragging about, but I was down 25 a few days ago. I'm clawing back, Jimmy the Bag. Had another winning day yesterday. Some interesting comments here. Let's see. Trevor Loden saying Loshak looking like a homeless Wario Jesus with that hoodie. I think being homeless is cool. I would love to. If it weren't for trying to get chicks, I would be homeless, right? If I didn't still care about women.
What about food?
Food? You can eat food. Like, a million ways to get food, Jimmy the Bag. The only other issue is roaches and rats and mice. That's the only other
But I mean, like warm food.
You fucking get warm food any which kind of way, Jimmy the Bag. Any which kind of way. It's just chicks and vermin. That's the only reason to not be homeless in this life, Jim. Unless you have a family, in which case it's totally different.
No, I get it'd be a relief maybe being homeless for a while, but
Yes.
I enjoy hot food.
You can have Jim. You can have well. I mean, it's tougher. Yes, you're right. It's a challenge. It's more of a challenge for sure, for sure. And then Cap'n 24/7 says, "When did Pete turn into Jesus?" Cap'n, I've been Jesus.
Yeah, all
I've been
along.
Jesus my whole life,
All
motherfucker.
along.
You don't just turn into Jesus. I've been Jesus. Okay. Answer: when did Pete turn into Jesus? In the 70s, motherfucker. All right, let's see.
Reggie's saying, hope everyone hammered the Mavs game. I provided that insight. Reggie's been hot, man. Reggie's been giving us a lot of the guys on the chat have been giving us gold, but Reggie's one of them for sure.
Absolutely, that one I had the I hit that one. I had the under. I had the full game under on that one, and the first half under, and I also hit the second half pretty big on that one as well. So
the Bulls Pelicans game going in double overtime made me want to hurt myself. It made me actually want to hurt myself.
Listen. Overtime losses will happen in NBA, in all sports, but especially in NBA. And if you have an edge in your NBA picks, then the overtime losses will tend to hurt you more than they'll help you. Because if 54% of your picks are dead on, and games that go into overtime are completely random, then 54% of the games that go into overtime that turns into losses are probably going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And only 46% will help you, right?
Yeah, I just a lot of bad fucking bounces, man. Is very irritating.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so I am coming back in the NBA, and college basketball was a down day for me. Although once again, the big play, the big tall 6'4" programmer came in and said, "Pete, what do you like?" I'm gonna go find him today because I told him West Virginia under. That one cashed easily.
Thank God you gave it to him because I'm pretty certain that's the guy I fucking led towards Wichita State on Saturday.
Yeah.
So thank God one of us is fucking
right. And yesterday, again, the story was half points matter, right? I told him that to take the West Virginia under, and that one did go under, but not on the closer. It opened at 160. I bet it at 160. In the show, I gave it at 158. When I told him to bet it, it was like 157 or something, and it landed on 155, but it closed at 154. So that was a classic example. And also yesterday, another classic example of how the half points matter. One of my picks in the NBA, I liked the Philly-Memphis game, right? I liked it. I bet it at 207.5. When we were doing the show, it was 205.5, and it landed on 206. So,
and the Kings covered it. Reggie comes in and says, "Man, John Wall was wasted after the Eagles won. After my boy said the Wizards players were partying, I didn't believe him until he sent me the video. God, he looked terrible, and the Wizards looked awful in that game."
And that's why I was all over Dallas in the second half. Plus the points, baby. So, yeah. And I tailed Jimmy the Bag on Philly on the first half, and Jimmy had to take a loss on the full game.
It's just, like you said in the very beginning of the season.
Yeah.
That if you want to take the Sixers, always take them on the first half. You said that in the very beginning of the season, and for some reason, I fucking let that go.
It's just like, it's not necessarily every single game's going to be that way, but that's just the way it is. And Matt, we're going to give a massive shout-out right now to you-know-who, right, Jimmy the Bag? You-know-who. Native Queen. Native motherfucking Queen. First half under in the Virginia Tech UNC game yesterday. That was one of her calls. I was scratching my head. I was like, Virginia Tech against USC, I'd be thinking overs. Native Queen says first half under, and I'll be damned if that one didn't hit again. Native Queen. She also liked Appalachian State, which I liked yesterday, and I wound up doubling up on it, taking it on the first half. So I got 2 winners from that, thanks to Native Queen. But the official cause of this shout-out is first half under in the UNC Virginia Tech game. That's why this show is so great. It's about 15% Wanma, 25% Jim and myself combined, and then 5% the graphics, and then 55% the awesome commenters that we have every day giving us funny comments, but more important than that, very insightful analysis and winners. Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah, it was a very irritating day yesterday. I had the over in the Indiana Maryland. They were clearly going over in the first half, and then they just stopped scoring. I missed it by 2 points. I had the under in the Nebraska game that was so easy. There were so many things that were so easy to me, and I still end up down like actually my units on the show I'm up marginally from last night, but my action I'm down just tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean that's how if your losses are by slim margins but your wins are by big margins, that's a promising sign going ahead in the future. And yeah, college basketball, that game, in the Indiana one, I took the first half over and the full game over, and then when I saw the first half, I took the second half under and almost cashed them all. But I did that. You know, that's what I'm saying. I take a holistic approach to these NBA games, Jimmy the Bag.
No, it makes sense
in terms of betting. Yeah. All right. So let's move on. So once again, Native Queen, Rich Bank says, is Native Queen a legitimate woman? We don't know. She's either a legitimate woman or a legitimate Queen's native, but it doesn't matter because that commenter is a legitimate, fucking insightful, sharp handicapper.
I enjoy imagining her as a woman.
Yes, I enjoy imagining her as both a woman and a Queens woman. I love Queens. I love women from Queens. They're fun as hell. I love Queens in general, and you ever been to Queens in New York City, Jim?
Of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's the best borough. That is a cool as hell borough. All right. So anyone, let's review some of these comments, and then we'll get into the games today. Let's just review some of these comments. So once again, to any newbies who are watching right now, if you see any comment here, any pick from a Native Queen or, Reggie or King Rail or Justin Searcy or any of these guys, really take it to heart because they know what they're talking about. All right, let's see. Yeah,
and then the Texas was so easy and I didn't double up on it.
Mm-hmm. I had a loss on that one, yes, for sure.
But I mean, it was just, it's just about finding the spots, finding the spots that works in NBA, works in college. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm going to get myself out of this fucking losing, and I know working with you guys is the reason why. So yeah, we got 17 pro games. I think we fucking get right into it, man.
And and just very quickly, I had a huge loss with Baylor last night, and Paulo Marquez says what I said about Kansas State against Baylor. I'm the only one here. Great win. Paulo Marquez had Kansas State. I didn't catch that comment.
I believe he did.
Great fucking call, Paulo Marquez. I would like to know why he liked that because I like Baylor, the market liked Baylor, and it wasn't even close, Jim. I even had him on a second half big, and I lost that one. So great call by Paulo Marquez. Paulo Marquez, why did you like Kansas State so much? Because whatever your factors were last night, that was a great call, and I would like to know. Paulo Marquez, massive shout out to Paulo Marquez.
Right when that game started, I was watching. I was like, oh, we're in fucking trouble.
Really? Why? What did you see?
Just Wade was dominating. I thought that Joe.
I know they were down early. You didn't think they would come back?
When I was watching, I was like, fucking 35 seconds in, I was like, oh no. Mm-hmm. Achul wasn't dominating. Wade at 6, I guess he's almost like 6'10" now, but skinny little Wade was dominating. Achul's just not a big boy. He's a tall guy. The Baylor is not a team I think that's going to make the dance. And I was shocked at how easily K-State handled them. There was never a point where K-State looked like vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. See, I thought Baylor was going to be a great bet to come back in that game. I bet a big on the second half. That one.
We got Mark Lathrop. Nice. Says Clemson has a major injury and on the road at Virginia. I'm pounding Virginia first half -5 while Clemson tries to adjust.
Wow. Awesome.
That is awesome.
All right. Okay. Wait. And Paulo Marquez says, Pete, I read in 2 places on net that I read too. What did he read? What did he read on the net? What did Paulo Marquez read? I'm asking him about why he liked it, how he knew that. All right. So anyway, I can't find it, but okay, yeah, right. Scott Leddy said Baylor shit the bed and didn't clean it. We'll see what they do in their next game. Yeah, that is certainly true.
But you have to shit the bed. Right?
Yeah, if once in a while, I guess. I don't know, man.
If you want it cleaned.
Yeah. So. Both Jimmy and I have not looked at the college basketball games tonight. We will cover that extensively in the 6 o'clock show, but we will get on to the pro games here, and let's go to. I guess we're going to start with. We're starting with NBA.
Cool.
Wait a minute. This is from yesterday. Wanma. I think it is, right? Yeah. Wanma. This is from yesterday. Can we change the? I'm thinking that's the full screen graphics. Hold on. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What? Hold on one second. 1 second.
Yeah, the Cavs will be a part of today.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. Maybe it wasn't yesterday. Sorry. One quick.
Yeah, it's today.
What?
It's today one.
That is today's one. Okay. You're right. I apologize. Because I thought I put NHL first. All right. Okay. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into NBA. Jimmy the Bag. I guess we should throw the NBA records up there, right? You're still positive in NBA. Very nice. bunch of units. I am clawing back, though. I am up about 10 units this week, or since I hit my my nadir, and I am clawing back in the NBA. I felt good about yesterday's card. I felt good about pretty much every NBA card since like Saturday or Sunday, and I'm feeling okay about today's card. Sorry for that little divergence. I thought that we had the wrong graphics up, but we didn't. That was my fault, completely my fault. I apologize for the minor delay there. In the NBA, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Cavs. Some of the easiest money in the NBA recently has been fading Cavs on the full game spreads, but at times taking them big on the first half or first quarters. Now this line has moved strongly in the Cavs' favor. I was thinking I was just going to pass on this game. They opened as a small road dog. Now they're a small road favorite against San Antonio. I don't know. Is this a spot where you want to take Cavs on the full game spread? What do you think, Jim?
First off, I love what Tomor said in the chat. He says, I like Cleveland tonight. LeBron loves drama and playing on national TV. Cleveland's defense isn't good with Thomas and Love starting, but the Spurs might be the slowest team in the NBA. I think that's a very elusive point. LaMarcus Aldridge has been excellent this season. 20 double-doubles. Spurs leading scorer in 36 of 48 games, 22.3 points per game, 8.7 boards per game. He demanded a trade in the offseason. He had a long talk with Pop. And it seems like there's more trouble in the Spurs house than I've ever seen. Kawhi Leonard says that there's that there's something going. There's a dysfunction in his relationship with the front office. Some stuff is going on, which is surprising to me with the Spurs. The Spurs lost to the Pacers 94-86 on Sunday, just their third home loss of the season. They've lost 3 of 4, 6 of 10. And Paul Gasol is a key reason why they're not winning. He's being ruled out tonight. He has been playing hurt for the last little while. Him and Aldridge are magic together. Ginobili's being ruled out. Kawhi Leonard, Rudy Gay are out for a while. The Spurs are 28th in scoring, 100.6 points per game, 18th in field goal percentage. This would be a good time to fade them. If any other team was playing them, I would fade them for sure. But how can you trust these Cavaliers? Coming off 148-124 loss to the Thunder. They lost 7-10 and 5-6. They're now 26th in the league, allowing 109.5 points per game, 11-12 on the road. They had yet another vocal team meeting yesterday after practice, and when they all went after Love, who had to explain why he left the game early, why he didn't show up at practice. This is a very interesting spot. Lee Davis says Cavs love pinning their issues on Kevin Love. Fuck this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Look, the Spurs have been up and down. They're off of 2 straight up losses. I know that they're having issues with their personnel, right? Maybe it's kind of a situation where Popovich has run out of options for plugging the holes. But the Cavs have just been getting stumped. ATS.
I tell you what I'm going to do on this game. Not a fucking thing. I'm not going to put a bet in. I might, after watching you guys, decide what you're going to do here and maybe sit on it all afternoon, watch the line move. But I have no idea what this Cavaliers team is going to do, and I don't like the Spurs without Gasol. I mean, obviously, and Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi was there, I'm sure I would have more comfort. But this is just a very uncomfortable spot. Andrew says Cavs bounce back today. Good spot for them. LeBron needs 7 points to reach 2,000. Cavs win by 10.
Bookie Lover Q says Cavs normally do well after their drama gets the media, but hasn't it been in the media for the past 2 weeks, or how long has it been in the media?
It's been in the media for a while. I mean, I understand Bookie Lover's sentiments, but it's been in the media for too long.
What about a little first quarter, first half type deal on Cavs? What do you think, Jim?
That makes sense to me. First quarter or first half type deal. Now we also don't like fading the Spurs after a loss, and they looked very bad in that loss to the Pacers.
Although that makes 2 losses in a row for the Spurs.
Yeah, and 3 of the last 4.
Yep. Let's see. A lot of people. Cedric White says too many injuries for the Spurs. Cavs get back on a roll starting tonight. Eric Swiatek says if anything, Cavs will be fired up after the meeting. And Andrew says Cavs bounce back today. Good spot for them. LeBron needs 7 to reach 30,000.
Look at what Bob Baumista says. Easy money with Cleveland. LeBron 30K points incoming. I put my salary on it.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Jesus, that's risky business.
I mean, it's just. Yeah. I'm thinking about. Yeah.
I'm not making a pick.
No. All right, let me just look at some of these other comments here. The only one really not liking it is Donald Trump here. He's saying, got to disagree here. You have to go against the Cavs, and the Spurs sure have enough depth to compensate for any injury. They have shown that playing without Kawhi already.
Yeah, no, it's not Kawhi that makes me uncomfortable. I mean, I've fallen in love watching Gasol and Aldridge down low. It's a educational basketball video when you watch them play together. So that's my concern. I mean, I'm excited to see what Pop's going to do. I'm a big Kyle Anderson fan. I like that Tony Parker is coming off the bench now. I like DeWante in there. I'm very excited about this game, but extremely uncomfortable with it.
Christian Rivas says, "LOL, Cavs bounce back." That's just been the mantra of the past. I don't know how long it's been now, like 3 weeks, right? The mantra of the last 3 weeks has been Cavs bounce back. LOL. That's it. Nothing more to say. Tomarino Tomor says, Thomas's defensive issues can't be covered up like they were in Boston. That's the bigger problem. It's not Love's problem. He can't match up with centers on the boards. They moved him to center. And then McGogster 99 saying Cavs first quarter, Cavs first half.
I think they got to do something drastically different, and I think Tristan Thompson has to start playing more. I would love to have the opportunity. Everyone talking about how the Cavaliers don't have the pieces this year. I think that's ridiculous. I like the pieces that they have. It's just not working right now. And whether that's Tyronn Lue's fault or whose fault it is, stop blaming people. Just figure it out and change it up.
Yeah.
Stop doing the same thing night after night.
All right, so it's going to be a pass for you, Jimmy the Bag.
It is. Alexander Laka says, I just joined the chat. Why are people so confident on the Cavs?
I mean, I guess because everyone thinks that, like, look, they still got LeBron, and I guess everyone's looking at the Cavs and saying, okay, they've lost, 11 in a row ATS. They can't lose 12 in a row ATS. Can they? Yes, they can, Jim.
Yeah.
Right?
I do not trust that. I mean, that Bob is going to put his salary on the Cavaliers. I mean, that's fucking hookers without a condom on, man.
Here we go, King Rail, late to the show. What's up? My NBA plays Cavs money line. King Rail is on the side of the Cavs, bouncing back. Boston and the Magic.
Man, King Rail knows what he's talking about, man. I started following him on Twitter yesterday. I respect all his insights.
Brent Brooks says Cleveland knows they're about to be part out of their team and bring in free agents. The current players are not invested. Cedric White says Cavs suck right now. We all know that, but this is a good spot for them. All right, let's move on. Let's move on, I guess, right?
I want to move on.
All right, let's see. Tomorio says LeBron thinks 30K is a big deal. Durant didn't care about 20K. LeBron is all over social media talking about his 30K point total, and game is on national TV. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to cover. It just means LeBron's going to score at least 7 points and like flex his arms. I guess
LeBron will go off, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it hasn't mattered. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. It hasn't mattered.
I'm thinking about going with the Cavs here, first quarter, first half, Jim. But I'll think about that a little bit more. Let's move on. We've got a Golden State game, right? Golden State coming back from their road trip and coming off of a loss. Golden State a little bit overvalued recently, just 2-4 ATS in their last 6, and also 3 straight unders. But the Knicks kind of coming apart, right? 2-5 out of ATS in their last 7, but 7 straight overs. They're becoming an over machine. I'm thinking that maybe Golden State first half and the first half over are no-brainer plays. What do you think, Jim?
I was thinking a lot about Golden State first half. I think that is probably a good play. Knicks are coming off a 127-107 loss to the Lakers on Sunday. In 4 career games against Porzingis against the Warriors, he's averaged 10 points, while his Knicks have gone 0-4 with an average margin of defeat of 19.3 points. Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing very well. He's back. He's rolling, feeling good. Last 2 games, he's averaged 24 points in 28 minutes, gone 11 for 16 from 3. The Knicks are just 6-17 on the road. They've looked bad all year. Remember, 2 of those wins were in Brooklyn, so really 4-17 on the road. Warriors are coming off a loss at Houston. We know what happens when they come off a loss. They beat teams up. They haven't lost 2 straight all season. Average margin of victory after a loss of 17.9 points. Warriors have a better record on the road than they do at home. They've been a little bit questionable on the road if you consider 16-6 questionable. Andre Iguodala is probable tonight, which would leave Jordan Bell's the only member of the Warriors injured. I see the first half Warriors play. I think that is all
right. Well, I'm definitely going to take that one. It's 8.5 most places, but Bookmaker has 8. So I'm going to take Golden State first half -8, -110. And what do you think about the over, Jim? 117.5. Obviously, Golden State can ramp things up offensively, and the Knicks have been a big overtrender recently. You know,
they have been. I almost never take Warriors team total overs.
No, first half.
Oh, first half. Yeah. Okay, yeah. No. The first half is a nice play. It's just 117.
117.5, which is up there, but I recently cashed with a total at 120 that was over, and that one cashed relatively comfortably.
You know, I wanted to talk this game out before I came in with the move, and I like both those two first half plays, and I don't like full game plays on this. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think those are two smart plays, and I will take them both as well.
Really?
First half over and first half Warriors, and that's it.
Okay, last time you tailed me in an NBA pick, it was a loser.
I trust you in NBA. I think you're going to come all the way back.
Yeah.
I think you'll be in the black in no time.
I think so too. All right, okay. We will see. All right, let's move on. I'm going to take the first half over 117.5, minus 101 at Pinnacle. Not totally happy that I'm seeing the minus 111 at Pinnacle right now.
Over 117.5?
117.5 minus 101. Yes. All right, so I'm on Golden State first half minus 8. Jim's on Golden State first half minus 8. I'm on first half over 117.5. Jim's on first half over 117.5. And I just hope this isn't a modest pace game. But I feel like, the Knicks are going over. They're being a little bit. They're not playing the greatest defense in the world. And Golden State, after the loss, should come out here and just have a brisk Golden State type game, at least for the first half, right? Does that make sense? Let me check the comments, see if anyone agrees with what we're saying here. Let's see.
Dan Kelly says you are very wrong about the Knicks being an overtrender. I'll give you the numbers if you want them.
No, I'm saying recently, over the past 7 games.
Okay.
That's you're welcome to your own opinions, Dan Kelly, but you're not welcome to your own facts. And I believe the Knicks have gone over in their last 7 games in a row.
Has it been 7 in a row?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
2 of them were overtime games, but I think that at least one of them was over anyway in regulation. Let me just check. No, I'm just kidding around when I use that. You know how people always say in politics, they say you're entitled to your opinions, but you are not entitled to your own facts.
Yeah, no, Dan knows we love him so much.
Yes, Dan Kelly, we love you. You are entitled to whatever handicapping opinions you want to have, but you are not entitled to your own facts. Facts are facts. You cannot debate them.
Ooh,
all right.
Shit.
No, you know how people.
You had me.
Yeah. No, I'm a good actor, Jimmy the Bag. I'm a great
that.
actor. I'm a great fucking actor here. Well, I would love to. I would love to make a gambling movie, a movie about sports betting in Costa Rica, a movie about the sports betting era and online betting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Either a comedy like Let It Ride or a drama. It would be awesome. It would be awesome.
I really like the movie Mississippi Grind, but I just didn't like the ending of it.
I never saw it. What's that about?
It's a great movie. It's not great. It's a good movie. It's a good gambling movie.
By the way, what we're doing right now is while I'm checking the Knicks' recent overtrend. But go ahead. Is it about sports betting, Jim?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No. But it's. There's a little bit of dogs action in it, which I don't. I'm a horse guy. Speaking of horses, we're going to take a second. I have a play on the Pegasus. I'm taking West Coast at plus 700. That's 700 with my local. You'll get 7-1. You can get better than that too. I think that coming into his 4-year-old season is when he should be about to race the best of his entire life. And Gun Runner could just be past that. Collected could just be past that. And you want to have a juicy number when you make a bet. And so just a heads up, I'm going to be taking West Coast. Now, West Coast was not as fast, clearly not as fast as Gun Runner and Collected at the Breeders. We all saw that. But coming into your 4-year-old season for a colt is a very exciting time. I think he's going to run. I guess he'll be a horse now. He's 4, but he's going to run. He's really, I think it's a good spot.
All right, so the Knicks have gone over in 9 out of their last 10 games. 3 of those were overtime games, but 2 of them overtime didn't matter. So that counts as an overtrend. All right, so let's see. McGoxer says, Pete, you kind of remind me of Tommy Wiseau. Who's that?
He's the guy from that movie with the escape artist or something. What's his name? Just the one. Andrea says Sharp Azteca wire to wire. Sharp Azteca just can't run this far. I love Sharp Azteca, Andrea. Andrea, I love it. I absolutely love this horse. And it just can't get to. He's going to get snapped. He's going to get snapped at the wire. But I love the call, and I love the horse. If it was a mile, there'd be no doubt about it. I'd be taking Sharp Azteca.
Here you go. Marco Lou says, I don't like gambling movies. They all end with him quitting gambling. Not my gambling movie. The message at the end of it would be that we all take calculated risks in many different ways every single day of our lives. That would be, at the end of my movie, that's what everyone would realize, that life is all about micro gambles, micro calculated risks in all ways. That would be the message of my movie, not people stop quitting gambling. It would be that you are forced to gamble in life no matter what.
Absolutely,
So you may as well embrace it.
they
Yeah.
often end up with the person winning, and they should end up losing.
Here we go. Dan Kelly saying, sorry, Pete, I thought we were talking about first half. Yes, we were, and that was my play. Great point, and I did look at that. The Knicks are not a super explosive scoring team in the first half. You're absolutely right, Dan Kelly. My mistake, and thank you so much for that clarification, Dan Kelly. And that is true. The Knicks have not been that big of an overtrending team in that recent overrun in the first half. So you're absolutely right, Dan Kelly. Great information. We were just kidding around. He knows.
We love Dan Kelly.
Yeah. Anytime there's an opportunity for a joke in front of me, I have to swing, right? So anytime I'm allowed to say you are entitled, make fun of you are entitled to your own opinions, not your own facts, I have to make fun of it. But yes, thank you very much, Dan Kelly. I'm going to take the first half over for now. Might take it back, in the 6 o'clock show, but we'll see. Let's move on. All right. So
I've got my favorite play of the day.
Okay.
This was the only play when I looked at the card that I was like, come on, come on. Mm-hmm. And that's the Celtics stepping up tonight. They've lost 3 straight games, with all 3 coming at home. Al Horford said, in my eyes, I feel like we are fighting for our lives right now. They're 16-5 on the road. All players like showing up in LA, shitting all over the Lakers in LA. It's an exciting thing to do. Lakers have won 5 straight home games, but they're just 11-14 there on the season. Undrafted point guard Alex Caruso has stepped up in the absence of Lonzo Ball and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I love the way he's playing. He's 6'5". He can guard defensively. I would start him. If I was coaching this team. His last 2, with Ball out obviously, but his last 2 games he's played 59 minutes, gone 6 for 9 from the field, 12 assists, 6 boards, just 1 turnover. At 6'5", Caruso can, as I said, guard many positions. Brook Lopez is averaging just 18 minutes a game in January. It really surprises me. Now, in saying that, I'm not going to double up because I just don't trust the Celtics team in the first half. But I like this play very much. I like them. Donald Trump says I got Celtics -3.5 very early. It was -3.5. WCW says Lakers +4.5. That's the reason, because they've won 5 straight. It's the reason why we're getting this line.
Right. King Rail also likes Boston. That's one of his other plays today, as well as the Cavs money line. Boston 3 straight big margin ATS losses. Doesn't concern you. Lakers 2 straight margin wins as a small home dog. So you see that as just giving us good line value here.
Exactly. That's absolutely is what I see. I see that is the gift. If the Celtics hadn't lost 3 straight and they were going in there at -7.5, -8, I wouldn't take it.
Yes. Okay, well, we'll give you -5, -110. That line is headed up. It opened around 4. 3.5 was available at times. It's now up to 5 or 5.5. My note on this one, you probably have a good read on this one. My note on this one is probably best to just pass on this one.
Melee Payless Way says, I'm from LA, huge Lakers fan. Fuck Boston, but Boston cashes.
There you go. Very nice, very nice. May less, pay less. And what do you think about the over? I was thinking maybe a shot with the over. What do you think, or not?
I think when the Celtics play their best, they let Kyrie really slow the pace down, and they play very strong defensively.
All right.
Jeremy M says, what about the under, Jimmy? What is the line?
It's about 208.5. Let me see where it is right. Yeah, 208.5.
I'm concerned about the Lakers offense in saying that, but I think that's a good play, and I'll think about it all day.
Okay. Then the Brooklyn OKC game, again, on the NBA card tonight, there's not a ton that I was liking, but this is one that I did bet. I took the under. I got it at 214. It's now 213 or 213.5. OKC, of course, coming off the huge win against the Cavs, but we know that OKC can be a good defensive team when they, on an average midweek game. Brooklyn also plays that way, and I was thinking the under is a good play here. What do you think, Jim?
I think it is. You know what? Just the way they've been playing lately, it's hard to figure out this Thunder team. They've won 4 straight. They're coming off putting 148 points on the Cavs. They're 5-2 against the 5 teams with the best records in the NBA, and 4-5 against the 6 teams with the worst record in the NBA. They're a healthy squad. Last time these 2 teams played, it was a tight scoring game, but that was in Mexico City, where the floor was a little messed up. Nets have won 2 straight, haven't won 3 straight all season. D'Angelo Russell has been back for 2 games, 14 minutes each game, showing a lot of rust. 1 for 10 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3 for 4 points, 3 assists, 4 turnovers. Man, Joe Harris is playing good basketball, and he's another guy who's capable of guarding the perimeter, guarding all sorts of spots. I like the way he plays. In 11 January games, he's averaging 11.8 points, 54% shooting. David Aureliana likes Brooklyn +10. That was where I was leaning, but I'm not going to make a play at this point. But I am leaning towards Brooklyn at the big double digits.
Yeah, I was leaning Brooklyn as well, and the under as well. Here we go. Tomori. I think it's a letdown spot for OKC. I agree. I lean to the Nets. OKC has played down to the level of competition all year. I agree with that, Tomori. And what do you think about the under? There you go. Twate latte, baby. Like in the that was Sacramento Orlando, which I was also leaning towards as well. But I was thinking about the under in the Sacramento Orlando game as well. We'll look at that one. But I'm here we go. All in says don't trust that under. OKC gets lazy in defense against shit teams. Interesting comment.
Very interesting comment from All In. Very, very shrewd.
Melas Way says Brooklyn plus 10.
I agree. I think that's the play. I think Brooklyn double digits is the play, and I'm going to make it.
Really? Okay, yeah. Jimmy and I also taking Brooklyn. Right now, let's find the best line for us, Jim. Let's shop here on SBRodds.com. Plus 10, minus 106. That is the best line right now at
Look at what Christian Rivas says just to make us more comfortable. Brooklyn looks different with D'Angelo back. I'm sure just from a swagger confidence-wise because he's not playing that well, but he will. They're 7-10 against the spread and covered 5 straight on the road. OKC has failed to cover 4 out of 5 at home as a favorite. I like this. Donald Trump, Brooklyn plus 10 and straight up. Wow, I think this. I'm happy that we talked this game out, and I feel comfortable. And it all started with David Orellana.
Yes.
It all started with him. So thank you for that, David. And I'm on it. So plus 10, what was it?
Plus 10, minus 106. King Rail likes OKC first half Nets full game lean. Yes, I was thinking about that as well. I was thinking it might be just a carbon copy of the Sacramento game last night where Sacramento lost the first half, but then wound up covering the full game relatively easy. I could easily see that happening here.
Yeah.
And Darryl Lyle says Brooklyn 5-0 ATS last 5 games on the road. No one really commenting on the total, though. Just a little bit of caution. Let's see. Tomori, there you go. I think the over has some value. Don't see OKC playing much defense. Okay, yeah, I could see that. I could see that too. All right, yes. And then Dan Kelly says Brooklyn might be a 2-unit bet at halftime, or a 2U. Okay, 2-unit, right?
Yeah.
2-unit bet at halftime. Yes, I agree with you, Dan Kelly. I had Sacramento yesterday. I had them on the full game, of course, and after they were down big in the first half, I was expecting them to come back, which they did. We might see roughly a carbon copy of that game tonight. I'm taking the Nets. Reggie likes the Nets plus 10. Melas Way likes the Nets fourth quarter. Okay, damn. Okay. And Christian Rivas says, where Brooklyn at? In my MF pocket, LOL. Okay.
Where Brooklyn at?
Yes, where Brooklyn at? In my MF pocket, LOL. Christian Rivas, great comment there. And then let's see. Okay, let's move on, Jimmy the Bag, to what else do we have here? Sacramento, Orlando. I was leaning the under on that one as well. It's now up to 214.5, though. It's all over the map. Let me refresh these lines to make sure that they're all accurate and up to date. I was thinking about a shot with Sacramento, Orlando, even though Orlando can be very, high scoring at times. I'm not sure if I want to take that one, though. What do you think, Jim?
I think Orlando is going to step up. See, when other teams have the Kings coming in off a second game of a back-to-back, they let up, and the Magic know that this is their only chance to get on a run, and I really think they're going to step up tonight. They're coming off a 103-95 win at Boston. They've not won back-to-back games since early November. In the past week, the Magic beat the Timberwolves and the Celtics, lost close games to the Cavs and Wizards. Alfred Payton is finally playing better. I mean, how long have we waited for this guy?
Yeah.
In his last 2 games, combined for 41 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. He's got length. He's got long arms. He can defend the perimeter. Sacramento's on the second half of a back-to-back. They look good coming back against Charlotte. They've lost 8 in a row. During this skid, the Kings are averaging 99.3 points a game, allowing 110.8. Labissiere put up 23 in the loss, but he's only averaging 4.4 rebounds a game. That would drive me fucking mental if I coached him and he's not banging the paint and banging the glass. I would just lose my mind on him. Temple and Randolph sat out last night. They'll be back in the lineup. I like the Magic. I'm going to take them.
All right, and I'm going to take Magic. I've covered 5 in a row. I am going to take the under here. I'm going with Twate Latte, and Jimmy the Bag is Twatty likes Sacramento plus 6.5. But you don't. Orlando's covered 5 in a row, playing well, but
that's not what I like to see. I like when Twatty's with me.
All right, Orlando, minus 6.5, minus 107. You want that one, Jim?
Yeah, and there's an interesting point. Tomor says, I think Orlando's a good back at home as a dog against a good team. I don't want to lay 7 with a below 500 team. I think they're going to play very well.
Okay.
I think that they're going to start change. I think this is hugely important to them that they beat up on this team. Now, I don't like laying the points, but I think it will be fine.
All right, we've covered every NBA game. We got to move on to NHL. Jim, once again, these are the picks. Jim wants Orlando minus 6.5, minus 107. Brooklyn plus 10. Boston minus 5. Golden State first half -8 and the first half over 117.5. And I am on the Golden State first half -8, first half over 117.5, Brooklyn +10, and the Sacramento-Orlando game under 214 -113. That's the current line at Pinnacle. All right, let's move on to NHL. And goddamn it, Jim, we're going to throw this NHL record up there because we are both positive in NHL. Nothing mind-blowing, but we are both nicely, solidly positive, and I think that's something to be modestly proud of, Jimmy the Bag.
I agree. It's a tough sport with a lot of volatility.
Yes.
And if we ended the season at that point, I'd be fine.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, any major sport where you're betting a high volume of bets, if you come out at the end of the year up 2% ROI with a 2% edge, that is very impressive. That is something that some professional handicappers would be very, very happy with and very, very satisfied with. All right. There were a lot of games that didn't have overnight lines, and I did not get a chance to look at any of those. So I will look at those in the afternoon. We can talk about those. So let's talk about the games that did have overnight lines first. I guess we can start with, I don't even know. Okay, Florida, Dallas is interesting, right? Dallas returns from their road trip. They've been great at home. Florida, very, very vulnerable team. We know that. Is Dallas worth a play at -172 as a high line, or is that a trap? And I was thinking about the over there.
The Stars look very good. I am taking them on the puck line this night. Tonight. The Panthers are 8-13-3 on the road, 9-10-1 against Western Conference teams this year. I think they're an okay hockey team. They're 5-4-1 their last 10, but Reimer looks to have hit the wall.
Yeah.
He started 20 straight games with Luongo injured. He's allowed 3 or more goals in 3 straight starts. In December, his save percentage was .932. We bet on it. We had his back a few times with our money. Now in January, it's .898. And that's where he will stay. That's the kind of goaltender he is. Only 5 teams in the NHL have a worse goal differential than the Panthers do at -19. And as I said, the Stars are playing good hockey. 7-2-1 their last 10. 16-6-1 at home. Coming off a 7-1 thrashing in Buffalo. The Stars are 11-4-4 against Eastern Conference teams. Martin Hansel and Mark Mathot will be out of the lineup tonight, but that doesn't matter. I think this is a nice spot for a puck line.
And what do you think about the over, Jim?
The Stars play such a tighter game than what we're used to with Hitchcock. And so I like it because I think they're going to score goals on Reimer. Will they allow enough goals? I like Panthers offense. What line would you be getting?
Not that bad. 5.5 -111. I'll take that. I'll take it. I'm going to take Dallas over 5.5 -111. And you want the puck line?
I do.
+175 is the best line right now. That is the line at Bookmaker.
I like it.
All right, and I'm going to take the over there at 5.5 -111. Might throw on the first period over later on, but we'll see. Again, let's just look at the. Oh, okay. Let's talk about Vegas. You know, I know probably what's going to happen here is we're going to waste a lot of time talking about them and then decide that we're going to pass.
I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I mean Vegas. You know, just an obvious juggernaut. They return home from a long trip here. They're a big favorite now. Their lines are getting a little bit inflated, a little bit up there. Columbus off a long break, a team that Jim and I in general like to fade, and I think we've been fairly successful doing that. I was thinking about an under, and I don't know about this big favorite line. What do you think, Jim?
I'm uncomfortable with the big favorite line, but the Jackets have been in Vegas for 3 days. 3 days. But they've practiced every day. Tortorella's been on them, but man, that... Golden Knights are now the #1 team in the NHL, 18-2-2 at home. I can't believe I'm saying that. Coming off a 5-1 win at Carolina on Sunday, 6-2-2 over their last 10. James Neal just scored his 21st goal of the season. +34 goal differential is the best in the Western Conference, only behind the Bruins and the Lightning overall. Jackets have had 4 days off, spent 3 of them in Vegas, practiced every day. Tortorella says they've been very good up-tempo practices, 4-5-1 over the last 10, 10-10-3 on the road. They have key players out of the lineup in Atkinson, Dubinsky, Milano, and Murray on the injured reserve. They're 28th in goals per game at 2.6. Very fortunate to have made the Artemi Panarin trade. Leads the team with 38 points. That's 12 more than the next highest scoring forward. The Jackets have a very tough time scoring. I just don't like the line. Like, there's some puck lines that I could see, and in tonight's card, like for instance, Edmonton is an example of this, where I'm not going to take them at a puck line at +125, and I just feel like Vegas is the same thing. But now in Vegas, you're getting the nice line, right? You're getting +180, +185.
Yeah, Paulo Marquez says Oilers must win the game. Everyone liking Dallas. Paulo Marquez says Dallas and Edmonton all the way. Mitchell Chaga says Dallas has bet on at home. Florida almost an auto fade on the road. This one is easy. Cody AV says Oilers coming off of a bye week. Mitchell Chagas also likes the Vegas under 5.5. Very, very interesting. Yeah, here you go. Triple Beams 3. If I told you on opening day that Pete would be saying Vegas just an obvious juggernaut on January 23rd, y'all would have flipped. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Great comment there, Triple Beams. That's how, and that's always important to keep in mind. There's usually something like that happens in at least one thing, maybe 2 or 3 that happen like that in every sports betting season, right, Jim? Expect the unexpected, or at least don't be sure that you know everything that's going to happen. All right, let's see. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Jim?
I'm leaving this game alone right now. What's the over-under?
Espirito Latte says Columbus at Vegas. Vegas puck line, 1.5. Espirito Latte not even thinking about it. The total on this one, I was thinking about a shot with the under. Some people were liking that one. It's 5.5 minus 109.
Yeah, I'm leaving this game off.
You're leaving it off, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to throw on Dallas -1. You guys convinced me. Dallas -1. It's got to be the play. The money line part here is going to be minus 170 at bookmaker, and the puck line part plus 175. So I'm taking Dallas there -1 at almost even money, and I'll take that one. I'm jumping on that one with you, Jimmy the Bag. All right. What else are you liking from the NHL card, Jim?
There's puck lines that I liked. I think there's a lot of opportunity for puck lines. Here's one that I'm sure is controversial. I'm taking the Predators on the puck line this evening. They've got Arvidsson and Johansson back from injury. It won't be long until Philip Forsberg is back as well. Predators have won 5 straight games, won the first 4 games of their 5-game homestand, 16-4-2 at home. Their last 4 wins have all been 1-goal decisions. This team has so much depth. There's no team in the Western Conference that can beat them in a 7-game series. There is a predictions guy was asking about futures bets, and now, the Predators are losing value because they keep getting stronger as the season goes on, but I think the Penguins right now to win the Cup is a huge. You're getting 17-1 right now. But yeah, this Predators team is very good. The Bonino, Fiala, Jarnkrok scored 3 goals that line in their 4-3 win over the Panthers on Saturday. Pecorine will likely be the starter for the Predators. He won the last 4 starts, but he allowed a goal from the red line by Keith Yandel in his last game. The Lightning are on the second half of a back-to-back, coming off a 2-0 win at Chicago. Win stopped a 3-game losing streak. It was just their 3rd win in the last 8 games. Vasilevsky stopped 40 shots, so it's very likely Louis Domingue will be in goal tonight. You'll want to get in on this before they announce that Domingue will be there. I'm on Predators puck line, and I expect Domingue to be on the other side.
All right, best lines at UWager right now, plus 225, plus 225. Okay.
That's a great spot,
yes.
plus 225. I think that's a great
Pinnacle
spot.
has 221. Other places have 210, 220. But UWager has plus 225 line shopping. So important. So important. If you have outs at all these books and you use SBR odds to line shop, you will get an extra bonus of 10 cents on most plays that you're betting here in the NHL. All right, let's see. One other game that I was thinking about. Let me see that I was thinking about Jimmy the Bag. Well, I guess let's talk about Pittsburgh. You love Pittsburgh. Carolina's definitely been stinking up the joint recently a bit. What's your take on that game?
Oh, man, am I ever on the Penguins puck line this evening. Very confident in this game. Very confident in the Penguins moving forward. Carolina's won both meetings so far this year. That's going to upset Pittsburgh. After their 5-2 win over the Pens on January 4th, these teams have gone in different directions. Pens have won 5 of 7. Hurricanes have won 2 of 7. Sebastian Aho is out of the lineup for the Hurricanes. That's a big deal. He's in concussion protocol and dealing with a lower body injury. He's a huge part of their offense with 37 points in 45 games, but he's a big boy. He's good on the forecheck. He's very, very important to this team. Crosby said the biggest difference in the Penguins is that their urgency picked up a lot, and they know that they need to win a lot. They need to win a lot to get into the playoffs, and they will do that. Daniel Sprong was just sent down by the Pens because Brian Rust is expected back in the lineup tonight. For a team without a lot of size and depth, adding Rust is a big deal. I'm taking Pittsburgh on the puck line.
Okay, that's great. Best line right now. Again, line shopping at UWager, no. Pinnacle, no. The Greek, plus 190 at the Greek. And a lot of, oh, thank you so much. Paulo Marquez says, good, Pete, Stars will win. Yes, thank you so much. I went on that one. I was thinking about it. It's just, as you know, Jimmy the Bag, anytime you're seeing a big favorite like that in the NHL, you're like, am I being trapped here? Am I being suckered in? But thank you for pushing me on that one. And here's a comment from Brent Brooks. I live in Dallas. Stars are my team. They will roll tonight. Expect a big game from Seguin and Klingberg. There you go. Very, very nice. And Jim has just added the Pens puck line at plus 90. What else do you like, Jim?
Brent Brooks says Elias Lindholm's picked up the slack from not having out. Elias Lindholm is a great forward, too. I really like him. He's got size, speed. He's very underrated in the NHL. I am on the Bruins puck line. I know it's not a great number, but and Pete can vouch for this, on the plus 130s and 135s, I've been very successful with the Bruins. When they look like they're low-hanging fruit, they are low-hanging fruit, and I don't mind getting this tiny line with this team. Bruins are 12-0-4 in their last 16. They're now just 5 points back of the Lightning for top spot in the East with 2 games in hand. Tuukka Rask is on a 14-0-3 streak. In his last 3 games, he allowed 5 goals, 1.56 goals against average, 944 save percentage in his career versus the Devils. They're 5th in goals, 2nd in goals allowed, 7th in power play, 6th in penalty killing. The Lightning better watch out because they're going to have to go through this Bruins team in the playoffs, and that will not be easy. 2016 first-round draft pick, defenseman Charlie McAvoy has been a revelation. Sadly, he is out. He's dealing with an abnormal heart rhythm as a procedure done yesterday. They say he'll only be out 2 weeks, but that's a very concerning thing. He's 2nd on the team in ice time, just behind 40-year-old Chara. God, I can't believe how well he's playing. 25 points, 45 games, plus 18. Marchand is just having an incredible season. In just 37 games, he's 48 points, plus 24. Devils lost 3-0 at home last night to the Detroit Red Wings, a play I was on. They are 2-5-3 in their last 10. They've not scored a 5-on-5 goal in their last 2 games. The Devils lost their top 2 goal scorers on back-to-back days. They do not have enough depth on forward to lose Hall and Gibbons and not take a step backwards. They held a players-only meeting after the game, but you're only as good as those players in the dressing room. Schneider will be starting in back-to-back games, they say. I don't think it matters. I like Bruins, and I like Bruins a lot here.
Okay, best line is plus 135. That's market wide. Also, I decided I'm gonna tear your punk asses on Pittsburgh here. I'm gonna take a -1, -155 on the money line, and the puck line plus 190. Just seems like too good of a play here. Yeah, -155 on the money line, plus 190. I'm on Pittsburgh -1, and Jim has just added Boston puck line plus 135. I did not have a chance to look at that one because there was no overnight line. Let's talk quickly about a game that I do kind of like that I was thinking about. The Rangers against Anaheim. That's a very interesting one. Obviously, the Rangers are on a West Coast road trip. They lost their first 2 games. They haven't played well on the road in general recently. Anaheim's coming off a big loss to San Jose, but clearly improving. Is Anaheim here maybe also a good play similar to Dallas? And I was thinking about the first period under, not the full game, but the first period under. Anaheim can, Lundqvist is still Lundqvist. I like first period under and maybe Anaheim, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about it.
I thought a lot about this game too, and not sure whether to take them or not. Rangers are coming off a 4-2 loss to the Kings. They were ahead 2-0 after the first. They allowed 3 power play goals in the second period. That's not like them. They have a very good penalty kill. They've lost 2 straight in 5 of 7. The flu has run through the team, and they're supposedly healthy now. Grabner came back from sickness, and Mark Stahl came back from a hip flexor. They still have Kevin Hayes, Kevin Shattenkirk, and Chris Kreider out. I did want to talk this game out loud to see whether this was the play. Ducks are coming off an ugly 6-2 loss at home to the Sharks when they outshot them 35-26. They started the 5-game homestand nicely, wins over Pittsburgh and LA before this dud versus the Sharks. I keep waiting for the Ducks to go on a roll. They have so much depth offensively. Andre Case has 11 points in his last 11 games. They're just 25th in goals at 2.7. But I think you're right. I think this probably is the play. And what is the line we'd be getting?
Well, it's up there. It's like in the -160s. First of all, I'm going to throw on the first period under 1.5 -108 in Rangers Anaheim. The Anaheim's still a very strong defensive team, right?
They're less strong after that Henrique trade, but they have great goaltending. Yeah. And but that trade, the Vatanen trade, did make them a little worse.
All right. Well, I'll go on it for now because it would be in my leans column if I didn't go on it. I'll take that one. First period under 1.5 -108. And the money line on that, right? Yeah, it's in the -160s. A little too high?
No, I don't think that's too high. I don't think that's too high with the Ducks. I'm concerned of fading this Rangers team. I don't think they're that bad, but but yeah, no, I think that's the play. I'll take the Ducks on the puck line.
Are you sure? I don't want to talk you in. I'm not going to take it.
I wanted to say everything out loud, and yeah, I'll take them.
All right, Jim's going to take Anaheim now. Another puck line from Jimmy the Bag. Best line shopping plus 180 at the Greek and Bookmaker. Plus puck line plus 180 at a bunch of places. And I'm on the first period under 1.5 -108. And then just one other game that I definitely want to get to, and then we can get some of the other games that you've looked at, Jim, that did not have overnight lines, but I know you looked at them. Winnipeg, San Jose. San Jose has won 5 out of their last 6. Are they suddenly a good team? And Winnipeg has been winning as well, but they've had some problems scoring. And I was thinking this is another game where I like the under. What do you think, Jim?
Interesting. Yeah, I could see why. With Martin Jones sidelined with a lower body injury, Aaron Dell's taking the starting job and run with it. In his last 12 games, 10 starts, 10-0-1, 2.14 goals against average, 933 save percentage. He's allowed just 5 goals in his last 3 starts. Sharks offense has come alive after languishing near the bottom of the standings all year. Since January 1st, they're tied with Boston for the lead in goals at 35, and Big Joe Thornton leads the way with 6, which is so surprising to me. Brent Burns stepping up, 5 assists in his last 4 games. Jets are 8-2-1 since coming off the Christmas break. Handled the loss of Mark Scheifele very well. They've won 13 of 16 versus Pacific Division opponents this year. Hellebuck continued his outstanding season by being named the NHL second star of the week. 2-0, 0.48 goals against average, 983 save percentage. He's not fared well on the road. He's just 8-5-5 there, although his goals against and save percentage are still good, 2.54, 920 respectively.
Yeah, I'm off the under. Yeah, thank you very much, Jim. That was vintage Jimmy the Bag right there. Crunched, broke down the research, and in about 3 minutes, or no, less than that, about 90 seconds, efficiently talked me off a play that I probably shouldn't be on. Right.
Sharks are scoring at a high rate, and the Jets' power play is extremely dangerous.
Yes. The side is a total coin flip for me. I'm not going to touch that one. All right, let's review the picks so far and then see if Jim has any others that he wants to add from the games that didn't have overnight lines. Again, I didn't have a chance to look at them. I have given Pittsburgh -1, tailing all you guys. Dallas over 5.5, -111. Dallas -1, tailing all you guys. Anaheim, first period under, -108. And that's it for me in NHL. And Jim, all the puck lines. Pittsburgh puck line +190, Anaheim puck line +180, Dallas puck line +175, Nashville puck line +225, and the Bruins puck line +135. Very nice, Jim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you cash 3 of those, that's a big, nice winning day. And I think if you cash 2 of them, probably it's a break-even day as well. All right, small winner as well.
Winner, yeah.
All right, what else do you like, Jim?
Well, I do have one more play, but I wanted our man Antoine Seymour wanted to talk about this Flyers-Red Wings game. Very interesting spot. Red Wings are on the second half of a back-to-back after beating the Devils 3-0 last night in Jersey. It was just their second win in 6 games. Mrazek has back-to-back shutouts. Because this is the second half of a back-to-back, we're expecting to see Howard in goal this evening. But keep an eye when the Red Wings have Mrazek in goal. He's always been a streaky goaltender. He's had a terrible year so far. The Bertuzzi, Larkin, Athanasiou line, which we spoke about over the last week, we spoke about this line, continues to lead the way. Scored 2 more goals last night. They're big and young. Athanasiou is the oldest player on that line at 23. They're going to be good for a long time. Flyers are hot. 15-5-1 since their 10-game losing streak. 25-year-old Sean Courtier has become a bona fide #1 centerman, breaking the league as an 18-year-old. Courtier had never had a season over 39 points. 47 points in 47 games this year, +17. Giroux's on par to score 96 points this year. It's a tricky spot. I could see both. I could make legitimate arguments on both sides. I could totally understand why someone would love the Flyers right now, but I'm not going to make that move. And but I'm shocked. I guess the line did surprise me. I was surprised to see the Philly as a road favorite that really caught my attention. So because of that, my lean would be towards getting the money with the Red Wings. But I'm going to leave that game off. I know a lot of people are very interested in this Avalanche Canadiens game. But before we do hit it, I do have one more play. I'm a little concerned about the line, so I might leave it off. If you could look at the puck line for me for the Senators Blues, I might leave it off. The Blues haven't played since a disappointing 5-2 home loss to the Coyotes on Saturday. Jaden Schwartz could be back in the lineup tonight. Put up 35 points, was a +23 in 30 games. He's a great player. Combined with Vladimir Tarasenko, Braden Shen, form one of the best lines in the NHL. Both have fallen off without him. The Blues are 8-10-1 without him. The Blues beat the Senators 4-1 in Ottawa last Thursday. Beat them easily. Sens are on the second half of a back-to-back after losing 3-1 to the Wild last night. Mark Stone being out with a knee injury hurts tremendously. Also not having defensemen Oduya and Weidman as well as forwards Pajot and Thompson. You make a bad team worse. Both Anderson and Condon have save percentages under 900. But I don't trust the Blues like I trust the Bruins.
Well, that line is headed up. Of course, the money line opened at around in the -220s. It's now all the way up to the -250s. And the puck line opened in the +130s. It's now down to about +118, which is where we give you the best line at Pinnacle.
What was it? But puck line then?
+118.
Oh, I can't take that.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some quick comments, some interesting stuff here. College basketball we'll be talking about at 6 o'clock, and that will be very interesting and very fun, I'm sure. Justin Searcy says, I'm on Philly money line, Colorado money line, and Anaheim puck line. Dale 04 says +3 plus 330 Avalanche puck line. Do it. What do you think about that?
I'm not comfortable with it. I despise the Habs. I would like to fade the Habs every chance I get, but this train has got to stop rolling at some point. And I hate jumping on something 10 games into a winning streak. They've won 10 straight games, second half of a back-to-back. Nathan McKinnon had his goal streak stopped. You know they cared so much about playing in Toronto. Landeskog says the culture has changed and everyone has bought into the system. Clearly that's a dig at the departed Matt Duchene. Canadians are a minus 28 goal differential. Only teams in the East with the worst ones are the Senators and Lightnings. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. Druin has been an enormous bust. 42 games, 22 points, minus 21. They need Shea Weber back desperately. Carey Price continues to underwhelm. 13, 16, and 4, 2.96 goals against average, 908 save percentage. But I just feel like how long can this keep happening? How long will this guy? So at this point, I don't have and Joey Crawford. He had some great stats on them earlier, but says 7 puck lines in a row now for Avalanche. I get it, man. And if you guys have been banking off of it and you're playing with the house's money, then sure. I'm not playing with the house's money right now, and to go into Toronto and Montreal on back-to-back nights and hit a puck line is extremely difficult. And I totally understand why you guys are on it. I just don't feel comfortable with backing them here.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see some other. Desi Lathan says Jimmy on beast mode. Yes. Very nice. Jansen Bonzone. All right. I got to do it. Jansen Bonzone says. Let me see. Where was it? He says. Where is it? Where the hell is that comment? Wow, we get a lot of comments here. Jesus Christ. He asked if West Virginia was a trap last night, and he took it anyway because I liked it and it lost. I apologize, Jansen Bonzone, deeply, and I apologize to Jansen Bonzone's wife as well. I thought it was a good bet. What can I say? West Virginia tends to play well against TCU. The line moved up and then it moved down, which was not an encouraging sign, and I had a loss on West Virginia. Not much else to say. I apologize, Jansen Bonzone. All right, let's see. What else? Cut and confirmed. What else do you like, Jim?
Well, to be honest, those are the only official picks that I knew I wanted to make. I could understand taking the Kings tonight. I see that David's got Kings with a big money bag sign. But the Canucks are healthy for the first time in a while, and I don't trust the Kings' offense. Kings get off to terrible starts every night. They've been outscored 7-0 in the first period of their last 6 games. They ended a 6-game losing skid with a 4-2 victory over the Rangers. Jonathan Quick stopped his personal 5-game losing streak. The Kings continue to produce little to no offense. They need Jeff Carter back. The Canucks have scored just 5 goals over the last 3 games, but that will change. Bo Horvat's back. Brandon Sutter's back. They're coming off a 1-0 loss at Winnipeg. They're 7-12-3 at home, but this is the healthiest they've been in a long time. I'm not going to back the Kings here, and I'm not going to back the Canucks, so I'm staying off that game. These other games are exciting, and I'll keep looking at them, but like the Sabres and Oilers, I initially was going to take the Oilers on the puck line and decided that there was not enough value to trust this Oilers team. They've won 3 straight, coming off their bye week by beating the Canucks 5-2 at home. I expect them to go on their run now. But still, you can't trust this team. They've lost Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and no disrespect to him. He's out for 6 weeks, and he's a good kid from Burnaby Winter Club, but he's just so easy to play against. He's so soft and little. I don't think it's going to hurt them that much, except on the power play, which has been god-awful anyways. Pat Maroon has scored 4 goals in his last 3 games. They need somebody like that, a big guy to start scoring. Buffalo in the second half of back-to-back beat the Flames 2-1 in overtime last night. It was their first win in Calgary since 2003, but Sabres have won 5 of their last 7 times in Edmonton. Jack Eichel continues to be hot. Rasmus Ristolainen must have heard me. He's a lone Sabre defenseman playing well. 3 goals, 7 assists last 10 games. Chad Johnson looked awesome last night, 32 saves. If I were them, I would put Chad Johnson back in net again tonight. But I'm sure they'll go with Robin Lehner, who's 0-4-1, 4.89 goals against average, 8.59 save percentage last 6 starts. Sabres are 2-6-2 on the second half of a back-to-back this year.
All right, let's just wrap up NHL with some comments here. Mitchell Chaga says Jets Sharks a stay-off game, but then right after that, One Hard Yo says Sharks was Dana Lane's best pick. Okay, so for some reason Dana Lane loves the Sharks. Makes sense to you, Jim?
The Sharks are playing very well, and because the Jets are in town, you're going to get a decent line.
Yeah.
You're getting, so it's a pick 'em.
Okay. And then Justin Searcy says Nashville puck line. Yikes.
Oh, I love it.
Jimmy the Bag loves it. Jimmy the Bag
I
loves it.
love taking a shot at this Lightning team right now. You're getting a huge number, plus 225 against a Lightning team who's having a huge problem without Hedman in there. Then you get this Preds team that's getting healthier. Now they're getting production from this Benino Fiala line. I just think they're a very good hockey team. They're going to take the Lightning extremely serious. This is the 5th game of a 5-game homestand. They're going to want to end it right. It's one of my favorite bets. I'd say my favorite bet's probably the Pens on the puck line. But I love getting plus 225 on the Predators at home. I know they've won their last 4 games by 1 goal, But I think this is a huge opportunity to take a great hockey team against a team that's not playing well, won 3 of 8, and getting this giant plus 225 number. I love it.
And then finally, one final comment. Richie Rich says, public all over the Rangers, Ducks favored for a reason. Is that true? The public's all over the Rangers? I haven't checked the public line, but
I didn't know that.
That'd be a little bit surprising to me if the public was all over the Rangers. I wonder why. They've been on the West Coast, losing game in and game out. I would expect the public to be on Anaheim.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I like the Rangers coming off of a loss, and I didn't have the Ducks as an initial play.
Okay. Joshua Yanez says, Jimmy the Bag, please get some info on the Creighton St. John's game. Appreciate it. I'm sure even without that comment, that would be a game that Jim was going to look into, right? Yes, for sure. All right. So we will be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time, where we don't have Jim and I did not have a chance to look at the college basketball games today yet, but we will. Let's just take a once over, Jim, right now on the. Let me see the college basketball games that are on the slate. Just give me 1 second so we can think about what we're going to look at. Let me just. It's got to come up. Hold on a second. Slow internet here. Yeah, Villanova, a big favorite against Providence. I remember I actually did look at that game and I was thinking, I don't know if I would want to take Villanova there minus the points. Yes, Virginia against Clemson. Virginia is now a 9.5 point favorite, and there's a big injury for Clemson, right?
That's the word that Mark's saying. I've got to look into that.
Okay, so Virginia, obviously a team that can cover that kind of a spread when they have an advantage. This is not a team that you have to be afraid of taking a big favorite line, right, Jim? When Virginia's on their game, they will win games like 64-38. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
Would not at all be surprised. Final score, Virginia 64, Clemson 38. You know what I'm saying?
They're just playing so well defensively and so well at home.
Huge clash, Kansas and Oklahoma. Right now, Oklahoma is a 1 point home favorite at first glance. First glance, Jimmy? I'm thinking you got to be Oklahoma here, right?
They're in a really nice spot here. There's no doubt about it.
First glance, got to be thinking Oklahoma. Wow, I can't wait to break down these games. Uh-oh, here we go. Wake Forest, Jimmy the Bag. You know we love to talk about how much we like Danny Manning as a coach for Wake Forest, but I said that the times when I might be looking to fade them is when they're just outclassed in terms of talent. They're at home now against Duke, but getting a big number here, 10 points. That's going to be an interesting one. Jimmy the Bag and I are going to break that one down. St. Louis against VCU. That's an interesting. I love how now, at this point in the college basketball season, we can actually handicap games just by looking at them. We don't need, St. Louis against VCU. VCU, a great team, but they can also be beaten, and St. Louis also very up and down. Would not be surprised if I look into that game and think that I like St. Louis there. Let's see what else. Oh, there you go. Minnesota against Northwestern. Remember the beginning of the year? The high hopes for Northwestern just have not panned out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting game to break down. Minnesota, a small home favorite. Let's see, Kentucky, Mississippi State. That'll be interesting for sure. Ooh, LSU, Texas A&M. That'll be an interesting one. Of course, Creighton, St. John's. Wow. Creighton as a small road favorite. Not exactly sure what I think about that one. Got to be thinking at first glance. Man, I don't know, actually. I don't know. I don't know. Got to be thinking about it.
Very interesting. St. John's defends the perimeter so well.
Yes,
and Creighton's such a guard-strong team.
Yes, absolutely. Eastern Michigan against Buffalo. Buffalo is at home, giving 11.5 or 12. That's down from 13. As we know, Buffalo can ramp up, especially at home, and get those big margin wins. So the line's gotten bet down. Maybe Buffalo will be a play there. We'll see. I
hope to see Buffalo in the dance, man. I hope they get there.
Toledo, Western Michigan. That's a huge clash. Davidson against Dayton. All right, it's going to be interesting. Oh, and then Iowa against Wisconsin. That's an interesting one as well. I'm not exactly sure what I think about that. All right, so we got some interesting games to break down this afternoon, Jimmy.
Very interesting. Did Wisconsin turn the corner?
I don't think so. Not really.
It's interesting. Already we have people on a different side.
And here we go. Dave Wolf says, Wisconsin is just so bad, especially on the road. Omar Magangana says, I like Duke. Nick Ritz says St. John's can never pull through. King Rail says King Rail 2. That means absolutely nothing to me. What does that mean? Let's see. Jansen Bonzone says Northwestern awful on the road. Yes. Ole Miss says best bet of the day, Bradley. I will look into that for sure. Twate Latte says, I got a lot of NCAA plays. That's great. Share them with us, Twate, please, in the afternoon show where we will be giving all of our official picks. And once again, McGogs are saying VCU, very quick team on the road. Yes, VCU is a quick team. St. Louis tends to be a slowdown team. That's a very interesting. And here, Jansen Bonzone, Wake Forest, a dangerous team at home. Yes. And Duke might be a little bit overvalued. Wake Forest, that might be a game where they're down big in the first half and then come back to get a backdoor cover at the end. King Rail says fade Wake. Yes, maybe so. Maybe so. They might be outclassed here in terms of talent. Justin seriously says taking Kansas against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't implicitly trust Oklahoma. I'm going to really have to look into that game.
Absolutely. All right. So Daryl Whitmire says, love this show. Great. I love this show. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the great commenters. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time where we will review the line movements on the pro games and break down the college basketball card. And Jim and I will give our official college basketball picks 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thanks, everyone.